Alright, so I'm going to make a video of my 2020 Old Town Sportsman 120 PDL. I don't make very many YouTube videos because they're pretty poor, but if you have any questions, please just let me know in the comments. I'll be happy to answer it, take a picture, or whatever else you need. I'll start in the back here. First, I have the Navarre Kayak Fishing Rudder Bolt. It just helps it from shaking a little. You know, just it's only $1.50, $2, something to help it out a little. Something you can do, you can tighten up your cables a little bit, but you don't want to tighten them up too much. It makes it kind of tough to turn, so you want to tighten them up a little, but not too much. In the back, this is a very expensive mod that I did. I don't know if I'd suggest it to anybody, but I like to keep my rods more horizontally so I can go underneath trees. This is a Kayak XL low pro crate, and I put 5 they're the Kayak, the what are Omega rod holders, and I have them all going back. You can see that there, and I put that on I think it's a 16-inch the plate, and I cut it down to it's 15 inches is how long it goes. But yeah, that was tough to do, but you cut it down to 15 inches. Inside of here, I have a finesse box, jig box, frogs and chatterbaits, this one I got from Under the Radar Fishing. You can check out his YouTube channel. That's where I got this idea. It's hard to do one-handed here. This is kind of odds and ends. You can see it's got crankbaits, different things. That one's got buzz baits and spinner baits. Inside of the top, I've got headlight, a couple of those, some line, just some rags, nothing crazy. That's all that's in there. Keep my cooler behind there, and this is new for me. This is a Flambeau crankbait case. Sorry, again, this is hard to do with one person. But you can see there, you can keep you can keep 2 or 3 of them in each one. So I keep all my crankbaits in there. It doesn't hold, obviously doesn't hold every crankbait I have, but for every tournament you can go out and change out a couple of them if you need to. So it holds all of them that you need for a tournament. Moving up, there's a little odds and ends. I keep like I got a bait sack, a flashlight, some soft plastics, extra scissors, some dip, super glue, cell phone deal. So I keep that right there. And then my cooler goes on top of my crankbaits. So you can see that all right there. Here I have this is brand new too. It's a brand new Bass Pro automatic life jacket, inflatable life jacket. And here I have there's a cord, and I have my whistle that goes inside of there. You can see I'm 5'11", and so if you're looking at Sportsman 120 and you're trying to figure out how tall, I mean, I'm 5'11", and I still have a whole lot of spaces left. So I'll go ahead and look at this. It's where I keep more of my soft plastics. I'm sponsored by X-Zone, best soft plastics out there, but I keep 2 of the 6-ounce bait bags. One has all my worms. So I kind of keep my crawls in the one in the back. Worms there, swimmers there. That's how I do all my soft plastics. Here, you can see I have my pliers right there. I have these forcep deals there in case I were to fall out and I'm still here with my kayak. Also keep a knife in my pocket, but I have a NRS co-pilot knife right there if I'm with my kayak. I just kind of keep them right there, and they ride fine, you know, just being with they ride. Usually I do have a Tennessee trailer, and you can kind of see it over there in my garage, but I do also have a Boondocks, what do you call it, a T-bone that goes in the back of my truck. I don't have it on the back of my truck right there now, but unless I'm taking more than one kayak, I put it on the back of my truck with the bed extender. It's easier that way for me. I have a, I mean, you can see it right there, but I have the, whatever you call it, I don't know, wheels. I have a cart for it, so that's easier for me. Inside of here, I usually keep a pistol. I'm concealed carry license, but I just keep my sunglasses and my pistol in there, so don't run up on me. Here, I've had this Angler Ace for years. Really, it's like the best deal around. I can't stress it enough. I'm sponsored by Yak Gadget, and they have a new paddle out. That one's $150 versus this one that's $199. If I need another one, that's probably what I get now. It's like the same, you know, the same exact kind of paddle. Fiberglass shaft with plastic ends. I gotta really give it up because I've had a lot of other kayaks, and this PDL drive is amazing. Before, a couple of kayaks ago, I had a Native Titan 12, and the Sportsman 120 PDL, it's not the perfect kayak. I mean, the cockpit is narrow, and the underseat storage isn't that useful until I started using these bait bags. Now it is more useful. Those are the two big negatives. Besides that, this kayak really is legit. It's an amazing kayak for a great price. Another negative is where if you have a big transducer, the transducer spot is ridiculous. They need to fix that. But Navarra Kayak Fishing, I'll go ahead and go forward. I have their scupper mount. But check out Nick, I think his name is Nick, Navarra Kayak Fishing. That's worked out great for me so far. I go a little liberal with the silicone glue, silicone rubber. That's on me though. But I need to get some new pedals. These little things come off pretty easy. But yeah, I put some Velcro right there. That's where I put my net. I also have the plastic thing that goes here. If I wanted to go on the river and not take my drive, I bought that plastic deal that goes in the hole. This is a Ego S1 net with the nice clear plastic net. The net floats. Look, everybody's always talking about nets. This is the best net around. Quit messing around, get this net. I think it's the medium length Ego S1. Get this net, spend the money, get a good one. It floats. But the paddle, I kind of skipped that. I put the Yak Attack Roto Grip right there. It's just a nice, easy place to put it. It doesn't really get in the way. So whenever you're paddling and you have your drive up, that's a great place to have it. Yeah. So in here, it's going to be tough to do because I'm only one man here. Sometimes I do keep, this is a Yak Gadget. It goes on the back of your, it's like the backpack. It goes on the back of your seat. I have a couple of things in here. This is kind of my tool bag. First, this is old school. My dad actually made this. But like if you're out deep and you want to mark a spot, there's a lead piece that opens up. I can't do it with one hand, but you take it and you throw it out and it marks a spot. And then in here, there's a little 3600 box that you get from Old Town, but I have some extra tools in there. Just Allen wrenches. This is from Navarra Kayak Fishing as well. Another prop nut. Just some other tools and wrenches, stuff like that. Just paperwork. It's always good to have stuff for your kayak out on the water in case something breaks. Okay. I'll just put this out of the way for right now. Again, I am no YouTube YouTube master here. So this, I have two different cases here, and you can see I just Velcro these down and they stay in there. I use industrial strength Velcro. Get on Amazon. It works perfectly fine. It will keep your stuff down. I use a 20 amp Bino power battery. I'm also sponsored by them. Before that, I used, what was it? The little 10 amp ones that you get, I don't know. I forget the name of them, but the ones everybody uses. And it was a good battery, but I needed a bigger one. And I got both these cases. They're exactly the same. I got them from Target, and the 20 amp Bino power fits perfect. Bino, dude, their battery, they last for days. I have a Raymarine Element, and they fit perfect. I mean, it fits perfect in the boxes. The battery lasts for days with this battery. I mean, the graph lasts for days with this battery. I've had zero issues. Inside of here, I'll open up this case, just show a few things I have in here, I guess. The regular toilet paper. I have a scale, a flashlight, charger. I think I have a couple of battery packs in there in case I have to charge a phone for a tournament. Sunscreen. And put your sunscreen in a dang bag. I've had it blow up before, and that sucks. And like a leash in case you have to get towed. I mean, that's actually more for, not to be towed, but more for, I think I have been towed one time in another kayak, or I've towed somebody, but this is more for, like if you're up on a shoal and like you're on a river, you have to pull your kayak, you just tie it up to here and then pull yourself. That's what that's for. But yeah, so that's what I keep my battery in. That works great. Get that out of the way. And I just wash my kayak, just regular stuff you wash your car with, and then I clean it with 303 after that. It's a protectant, works great. Raymarine Element, that's yeah, great fish finder, works good, no problems. Here, whenever I take, and here, this is another thing. I'm sorry about the noises if you're hearing a lawnmower. It's a neighborhood. It is what it is. Initially, whenever I bought this kayak, the cockpit is narrow, and I had bought the Yak Attack one. You can't use a Yak Attack one because your knee, let me get the paddle out of the way here. So if you can see, the cockpit is narrow, and if you're straight up and down with a Yak Attack one, your knee, whenever you're pedaling, will hit it. So it just flat out doesn't work. You have to get the ram mount so it can go off to the side, off to the left, rather than being straight up and down. So if you're going to buy a Sportsman 120, you have to use a ram mount, and this is a 1.5 ball. Don't buy the 1 inch because your ball will break. Eventually, just the torque that a 1 inch ball eventually will break. I've broken them before on different kayaks. You have to have a 1.5 inch ball and 1.5 inch mount up there, and a 1.5. I think it's a 1.5 inch ball, whatever it is. But don't get for this kayak, there's nothing against Yak Attack, but don't get the Yak Attack graph mount for this kayak because your knee, whenever you're pedaling, will hit the graph. All right, so, and I use a gear tie. I keep it in here, but whenever I take the graph out, I gear tie my connectors to the ball whenever I'm going down the road. And there's another thing, I use Bang spray. This is the crawfish one, but I just ram it down in there and it rides in the back of my truck, no problems. Whenever I'm going down the road, I'll get this out of the way here. So one of the best things about this kayak is the catch boards fit. They have this perfect spot for it. The tracks that the seat sits on happen to go perfectly right here. So you see where I have it tied off. This is the tether that comes from Catch. This is the new Catch ID holder, the brand new one. I've never even used it. This is January 2021. So the board goes right here, and it fits perfectly on that other track. Can't do it one-handed, but It sits perfectly on that. There it goes. It sits perfectly on that other track. This is the best part of this kayak, because I've never seen another kayak where it fits more perfect than that right there. But a negative is, because your kayak is narrow, the board does not go all the way down into the kayak, into the floor of the kayak like it would in a Hobie. I wish they would make this cockpit more, make it wider. It's great because the board still fits up here on the track, but that's, you can't really take a picture that way. You have to put the board down there and do it like that. You can't do it, or you have to do it up in your lap, and you don't want to do that because you'll lose a fish. So you have to put the board down there and do it like that. They have this paddle clip. That's fantastic. That's one of the best things of this kayak as well. You have this is the rudder control, and that's good. One negative about it is they have this little adjuster, but that's stupid. Wherever you put it, a lot of times the rudder will not stay there, so that's another negative of the kayak. This is where right now, if you're thinking about getting this kayak and you're thinking about how many poles you can fit in here, right now I can fit 2 rods up front. I can fit 2 in each rod holder, and then 5 on my Yak Tech. So that's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then whenever I do this for my Yak Tech VisiCarbon Pro, which I'm actually about to put a mighty mount. I'm about to go buy it right now. I'm going to put it right there, right in front of this pad eye. So I'll be able to carry 9 all the time. But if you had a box that could hold more, you know, it could do more, and that'd be great. But I'm going to do a Yak Tech anchor, because I've only had this kayak probably 4 months. Yeah, probably 4 months, right at the end of 2020. But I'm going to do an anchor right here. Yeah, so overall, great kayak. It's been great the whole time I've had it. And if you have any questions, just let me know. Thanks.